What's up, peeps? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen, and you've made it over to Copper Cactus DIY. In today's video, I am making over this long overdue tall dresser for my husband. It is a 4-drawer pine dresser, and I am going to make this thing look like walnut that you are not going to be able to believe. So stick around if you enjoy furniture refinishing, furniture painting, and especially decorative painting and faux finishing, because I'm getting started on this walnut faux wood grain right meow. Oh yeah, thanks.
Sure.
Appreciate the assist.
Anytime.
Yep, exactly. Oh, thank goodness it's right in frame. Now I can get started for real. I removed the knobs and will not be reusing this hardware. I have some super slick hardware coming up, so you're gonna want to stick around to see that happen. Once I got that done, I added some tape and plastic over the inside of the drawers. I'm not planning on doing anything with these right now, and I can't remove them due to the hardware. I just don't have a workshop set up to manage that level of disassembly and reassembly at this time. So I just went with what I could do, and plastic it was. I used 100 grit sandpaper and gave a pretty good scuff sand to all of the surfaces that I'll be covering on this entire piece. I vacuumed off a lot of the debris, then I used a wet rag to wipe it down, and I left it to dry completely. Once it was dry, I repeated that entire process, but using 150 grit sandpaper, from sand to vacuum to wiping down. And once the dresser had completely dried again, I ended up grabbing this tiny brush to do my liquid shellac. I actually like using a brush that's way smaller than what you think you need for this, because it really causes me to go over it very quickly. I'll add a bunch of times, that way I know it's actually getting down into all of the grooves. I work in very small sections at a time, and I just try to maintain like a nice light, even application all over. I did 3 coats of shellac, 2 of them off camera, and I let this fully dry overnight. But I do like to make sure that I'm getting any debris or dust or anything that might have settled on the piece while each of these coats was drying. So after each coat was dry to the touch, for about an hour or so, I'd say I left it, and then I came in with just a piece of corrugated cardboard. This has just enough tooth on the surface to give a nice, like, light 600 grit-ish scuff over the entire piece. I came in with a dry rag after that, wiped off all the dust, and then did each subsequent coat in the same way. My husband requested green for his piece, and because I like to listen to what my clients want, green the mister shall get. It helps that we like to sleep in a cave too, by the way. Anyone who was around back in the old days when we lived in Phoenix, you might have seen my cave life videos where we made over our primary bedroom so it would somewhat resemble the inside of a cave at night. I never slept so well. But we can't paint the walls in our rental here, so this will help to dull down some of that harsh early morning light. To coat this, I'm using a forest green latex-based paint by Benjamin Moore. This sample size was enough to give the piece 3 coats everywhere that I used the green. I did this first coat on camera and the other 2 off camera, and I just wanted to point out that the shellac should help to avoid bleed through of those knots, as well as keep this paint out of the grain just in case I want to strip and refinish it later. I also mixed a Franken paint of some of my favorite bonding paints plus some tint, and I gave the top of the piece and the face of the top drawer 2 coats of this sort of creamy yellow cream color. I did the second one of this off camera as well. Then I looked for some inspo and I came up with this gorgeous slab of walnut that's for sale at Urban Industrial Designs Woodworks. It's on sale on their site for $250 and it is thick. I also can't work with something like this and I wouldn't really be able to use it on top of my husband's dresser, so I challenged myself to create a faux grain with a similar vibe. I also loved this slab on their site and I used it for the inspo for my drawer face. Then I could get color mixing, and when I mix just a small amount of glaze like this for just 1 or 2 small pieces of furniture, I like to use these old leftover glass jars. I just put a piece of press and seal on top to keep it airtight, and then whatever lid it came with is usually enough to keep this for at least a few months in my closet. Your mileage may vary based on your humidity and all of that stuff, but I tested these out on some canvas to make sure that they were going to look good on the color, and then I just grabbed my tools and got to work. So what I'm doing here is called undergraining. I'm laying down what would likely be the deepest grains, including the center of knots, or where wood might have split due to either weather or, say, human intervention. I use a number of different tools to achieve the look that I want, including this check roller. I also used a brush meant for clay, my wet rag, and even my finger just to smush things around the way I wanted them to look. And in truth, most of what I did to achieve this layer, I did off camera. It takes quite a while to get the effect that I want, and I have to use a real critical eye to details and empty spots, and I come and go from the piece a lot over the course of like an hour or so I can make sure that I'm considering all of the layers that I have coming up while I establish the graining patterns that are happening in this layer. I know it probably looks super insane right now, but trust the process is the faux finisher's mantra, so I pressed on. And let me take a second to share that all the videos that I mention, companies that I feature, or channels, or anything that I talk about here are usually all linked in the description area for my video. You will find links that support my art as well, from watching more videos to shopping links, and I appreciate you taking a second to go down there and check it all out. Then it was finally time to start using all those glaze colors. Laying down these colors will help to create a tonality once I start doing some of the overgraining later. I'm going to let you watch this clip of me doing the orange tone in real time. A really realistic wood graining has depth to it, which is why I do multiple layers. So I'm coming in here with another layer. This will add a little bit more of a tone, and I'm pulling a graining glaze layer. That way I can get even more graining, and it will help to start toning down some of the orange and the purple while still letting that color shine through. Then I get to doing coat 3 and the final coat of the latex off camera, but then farewell, old friend. So with that behind me, I put a good coat of Howard Feed and Wax on the back, and I left the faux to dry for about 10 hours. To achieve the final stained walnut look that I'm going for, I need to add one more layer to my faux wood. This is called the toning glaze. The glaze can be applied thicker or thinner depending on the tone that I want to achieve in each area. I'm not looking to deposit heavy graining with this layer though. Instead, I go for a smooth overall application. I custom mixed this glaze layer to be a neutral brown that leans slightly green. That will help tone the purple and orange areas without completely eliminating that undergraining tone or pattern. And I apply it using a fairly dense 4-inch chip brush that I have had for about a grillion years. I cleaned up an oops moment, added this final layer to the drawer face, and left it for about 48 hours. Then in just 2 steps, which will go much faster for you than they did for me, I A. gave the entire dresser 2 even and thick coats of my favorite Modern Masters Dead Flat varnish. And B, finally attached hardware to complete this piece. Stick around for the beauty shots to see how I turned this basic pine dresser into a stained walnut stunner that the mister is stoked to use now. But that's all the work I have to share, so don't forget to subscribe for free below, like the video, and leave me a comment letting me know how you think I did. Thanks for being here and watching. Later, peeps.
Have a minute, you can come out and give me your quick reaction.
Ooh. Oh, I love the hardware.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks really good. I love it. I like the color. I like the wood. The hardware. Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay.